Peace and love to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me again for the second episode of Restoring Light podcast. I am so excited. I am Bishop JT Dixon. My friends call me Titus, and I would be so happy if you would do the same. Um, the first podcast was awesome. I appreciate everyone that viewed. I think we had, I checked yesterday, I think we had over 80 views and 20 plus um, subscribers. So to you all, I say thank you. We hope that you will continue to share, like, uh, subscribe to this channel. I think we had a lot of compelling solution-based conversations that we have scheduled, and looking forward to this journey with each and every one of you. Um, we have work to do. We've done a lot of great things. We've accomplished a lot of great things. Our ancestors accomplished a lot through difficult times. And today I think we can mostly agree that we are going through some difficult times. A lot of things are happening here in America that I think a lot of people are being hurt. I think a lot of businesses are being hurt. And it's been an ongoing process because businesses really began to struggle 2020 after the pandemic. This is very similar to some of the events that history has recorded. One that comes to mind is the Great Depression. We're not in the Great Depression at this point, but we have a lot of things going on in this world. A lot of people are losing their jobs. Groups of people are being deported. Families are being torn apart. A lot is going on, and I think we can all agree that it is a lot going on. And the theme of this podcast is the unity of our community. It is imperative that we figure out a way to become much more unified than we are at this moment. This moment in time is tragic. Some of the things that are occurring in America. But I'm here to have conversation, to network with other business professionals, and I'm looking forward to the ride. I am the author of the trilogy, Restoring Light. This is the first book, Restoring Light, Overcoming a Dark Past. And the second edition of the trilogy is at the publisher now, hopefully be released within about a month or so. And the title of that book is From Chains to Change. And the third book of the trilogy I am working on, and I believe it's going to be a very helpful book, as is all of the books in this trilogy. But the third book is entitled Slavery is Not My DNA. It is unfortunate that the conversation about slavery tends to be confronted with resistance. It is not an easy subject to talk about. I understand that. You have to be very sensitive. There's a lot of emotions. There are a lot of opinions. And there's large gaps in the differences of opinions. Today, unlike any other time in history, well, I really can't say that. There are other times in history where unity brought our ancestors, our great-grandparents, and our great-great-grandparents so far along in every era of history. When you go back and research, it was the unity of the community that catapulted us forward in each era. Throughout history, we have had to unify. Our ancestors figured out a way to communicate with one another They figured out a way how to escape slavery, and over 16 trips Harriet Tubman took, and she had to have a unity of people to assist her. Also, during the Civil Rights era, we noticed so much unity throughout the world because it wasn't until the news of what was going on in the South. Unlike today, we have social media, we have several different news channels that's on all day long. But back during that time, you have to understand all homes did not have television. A lot of homes did not have. That was a luxury to have a television in your home. So news about what was going on in the South took a long time to reach other parts of America, as did the news about the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. It took a long time to even spread across the South because we didn't have the means of communication as we do today. So sometimes when we talk about what our parents accomplished, what our ancestors accomplished, how they made it through the brutal period of slavery, Reconstruction, um, the Great Depression, up until today. It has been a fight. And the common theme that I have noticed in all of my research has been unity. So let's talk about that. Growing up in Danville, Virginia, a little small Almagro over in that area, the projects, we had a store in the community. We had two stores. I can't remember the other store, but I remember Mr. Ray Fridays. And he had that store as long as I can remember. We moved from Danville when I was 6 years old. But I can always remember going to Mr. Ray Friday's store, and he had pretty much everything we needed in the community because, to be honest with you, I could never really remember when we lived in Danville when I was younger. I can't remember going to a grocery store. I'm sure we did, but I just don't remember going to the grocery store. The small businesses that we had in our community, because we couldn't go over into the white communities. So we had to learn how to make it on our own. And let me tell you something. We are looking to network with other like-minded professionals who do not mind sharing their expertise for their neighbor. I've had several businesses. The longest that I've had has been my photography business, and I've been a photographer since high school, and didn't start doing photography professionally until I was about 30 years old when I moved to DC. So that has been my pride and joy, and that's my baby. It's more of a hobby now, but it still comes in handy when some of my old customers want their services. So black businesses are very important, and it has been my experience, if you do your very best to be honest, upright, and fair with the customers, they tend to repeat in their visits. Not all, but if they know and you want to give quality service, um, those are some things that we can talk about. And I know that there are business owners. I have so many that we're going to be networking with here on this podcast that will be able to share their expertise and their opinions about what we can do to keep pushing the button forward and moving on to bigger and better things. Why is it important to support black owned businesses? Let me try to clarify. When I talk about black owned businesses, I'm not trying to put us in a silo where we are going to only survive if we do business with black companies. There are, and there have always been throughout history, groups of people, individuals, businesses that support all communities, including the African American community. So we're not trying to move out on an island and just live there alone. We're integrating into the community, but we are making a bigger footprint in the community. Does that make sense? Let's make a bigger footprint. Let's more joint ventures, other business strategies. Let's establish more programs where business professionals can share their expertise to help a smaller business move up a step. And that's one of the things that we want to do on this podcast. I want to partner with established businesses or businesses that are growing who don't mind sharing their expertise to help someone else. So I hope that you stay tuned, continue to follow us, even if it may, the program, even if we start off a little slow at the beginning, and we feel like we haven't gotten to the meat and the potatoes, that's purposely done. I'm doing these on my own at the beginning so I can get out the glitches, because right now, having technical difficulty, there's a humming in the background, so I need to get that fixed. So I'd rather do that trial and error with just me, opposed to inviting people to come to the studio, because my interviews will be on location. Instead of doing that, I'd rather go through this period of time just sharing with you, laying the foundation of what we're going to be talking about. But today we're definitely looking for ideas. We want to we just want to put it out to see if we can come up with some strong ideas of how we can better work together. How can we better work together? When I was growing up, the money that was spent, and I can recall almost everyone that my dad did business with, they were black business professionals. My uncle, my great uncle, I can remember when I was a little boy, he always had a business where he laid concrete, and he was always busy. But these are the things that I think is important for us to begin to establish even at a greater level. I think we all can agree we can use greater growth. And I think if we unify, if we learn about joint ventures, if we learn about how to do the business, the back office piece, how to market, and one of the things that I struggled with early in business is the money management, how to budget, how not to be the one to create a lot of emergencies because of poor management, and because of poor budgeting. We're going to talk to people who have tremendous testimonies, tremendous stories about the things that they had to endure to open their business, to sustain their business, to raise a family, to wear all the hats that you have to wear and try to establish a business can be challenging. Let me share with you the vision that I see. The Bible talks about the number 12, 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 disciples, and there are other examples in the Bible. 12 is the number of foundation. So I envision 12 business partners where we can bounce ideas. Let me use for an example my good friend, and I'm going to talk about his business in a little bit. My good friend Mike and Randez, both are in business. So all three of us in business, and our journeys in business, we've been able to bounce ideas off of each other. We've been able to bounce investments off of each other. We've just been able to take the journey together on how to get from point A to point B when we ran into challenges, we were able to bounce things off of one another my buddy, and he's been in business. Curtis has been in business 30 years. I think he just recently celebrated 30 years. Um, and I've known him pretty much all those years, if not more. Um, but we've been able to bounce ideas off of one another. We've been able to come to one another when things are not quite going well, really be able to talk and talk through some of the challenges. So that small network, along with Tim, my friend Tim, Dr. Mitchell, all of these gentlemen are people that are part of my network that I feel I would not be where I am today had it not been for times where I literally had to cry on their shoulders, times where I literally had to share personal situations just so I can come out of, let's say, a moment in time funk. You need to talk to someone. So we, I am proposing, but I am proposing unifying with other like-minded professionals so we can build stronger foundations, so we can build stronger businesses, so we will be able to help others in business. And I know there are many of you that are doing the same thing. I see you grinding. I see you out there making it happen. The beauticians, the barbers, all of you guys who are out there making it happen, and you've been doing it for many years. I invite you to be a part of Restoring Light so we can bring our brothers and sisters along to build a better financial structure in our community. Here's some exciting news. In the past year, Black-owned businesses have grown 34%. That's pretty awesome, 34%. I think we could continue to increase that number. Let's sit down at the table. You have a seat at the table. Send me, what are you struggling with? What are your challenges? I might not be able to answer the questions, but it will give me a direction on who do I need to invite to come join us on Restoring Light to share with my listeners, my followers, to better help them with their business. I also feel like coalitions within the 12 that we will be able to offer business advice um, to help others that are starting to learn how to do this. What do I do next? So I know we are now talking about February 28th, the boycott. These are other things that I encourage you to participate in because where there is unity, there is strength. Try not to spend any money on those days. So let's get a good, strong group of people. Let's get a tremendous group of people together and let's figure this out. We can do this. I promise you we can. Our ancestors did it with less. Our grandparents did it with less. Our parents did it with less. There's no reason why we can't supersede everything that has been done and make the impact in our community and in the world that I know you can. You are awesome. We are awesome together. So let's make it happen. Thank you again for all of you who viewed, who shared, who liked, who told someone about my podcast. And this is another thing. Thank you to my friends who have been giving me feedback. You need a group of people to tell you when you're doing things that are not quite in line. So I got excellent feedback. I had some ask me questions because they were just trying to get clarity. So I really appreciate that. I'm just getting started on this thing. I'll get better as I go along. So I welcome your feedback. I really do. I really really welcome your feedback. And let's do this together. Let's ride this train, not until the wheels fall off, but until it grows into a larger train, pulling a much larger load. So I want to take a few minutes to talk about a few of the partners that we will, looking forward to building stronger relationships with. Tanisha DaCosta. She is the founder and the owner of Kingdom Kids Empowerment Academy, KKEA, a K-12 private school dedicated to the whole child development. It is awesome. I am going to be in Charlotte. Her school is in Charlotte. Tanisha began her entrepreneurial journey in 2003, founding Made in His Image Child Care, a group family daycare that she operated from her 1,000 square foot apartment. So we have stories of people who have done this. And they are looking forward to sharing their story, sharing what they're doing. KKEA, Kingdom's Kids Empowerment Academy, is located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tanisha is from Buffalo, New York. She's a Buffalo Bills fan, and she moved to Charlotte and since has set up this academy. I can't wait to go to Charlotte and speak with her and learn more and see the beautiful building that God has blessed her with. So stay tuned. She's making her footprint in the educational space, and we're so proud of her. We're thankful that she is willing to sit down at the table with us and her expertise. Another one of our partners is Walker Global Services founder and CEO Michael R. Watkins Sr. If you are an entrepreneur with a product idea, inventor of a product, or small business looking to develop or source your product or expand your business or even improve your manufacturing and your supply chain process, give Michael a call, connect with Walker, and discover how they can help support your needs. You can call on and count on Walker Global Services to help augment your capabilities, maximize your risk, and reduce your costs. Walker Global, your full-service global manufacturing and supply chain solutions partner. You can reach Walker at www.walkerglobal.com. These are two of our partners, and we have others coming on board. So we're excited. The integrity of Mr. Watkins, this is definitely somebody who has gone through the ranks and reached high levels in his profession, and definitely will be able to help you with product, supply chain processes, and quality services. So please connect with our partners. Look them up. Let's do business together. Mike will be one of my guests soon, along with Tanisha. Tanisha will be my guest. I interviewed her March 11th, I think it is. So stay tuned. We got a lot of great things going on. We're looking forward to growth. We're looking forward to growing together. We're looking forward to our churches joining in and helping to establish businesses in the community, and a place where, when I was growing up, that's where everything happened. Everything happened in the church. Everything was birthed out of the church. Businesses grew within the church into the community. If we duplicate what has already been set before us, we'll see greatness in our community. So thank you so very much for joining me this morning for Restoring Light. This is our second episode. Please like, share, and ring the little bell to notify you for other podcasts. Thank you so much. God bless you. May heaven smile upon you, and may the peace of God be forever with you. God bless you.